I was considering doing a live, but I got too much going on. And I can stop this if I need to. But I can't stop. I can stop a live, but I can't pause it. I think I might incorporate, first of all, it's your baby Wimmy Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. See what I got in my hair, right? And that is pretty. Where did I get this from? Y'all, when did I get this? This is beautiful. Oh my God. Where did this come from? See, I got yarn that I don't even know I have. This is absolutely beautiful. And this will definitely go with the dress that I'm frogging. I am. Saw a couple of mistakes. Figured that I wanted to do my seam better. I'm totally stressed. So even though this is Wednesday night and we have a lot to do on tomorrow, I have slept most of the day. Did get some terrific crocheting done, as you see with the hat on my head. But I have been telling you all about the bed sores. Well, one of them has completely opened up and it's bleeding terribly. And it's so uncomfortable. And last night, which I didn't tell my daughter until tonight, I had fever in both of my legs. And I know that I have to keep an eye on it because I don't want another bout of sepsis shock, which I suffered that back in 2021. And I don't want to do that again. We've been keeping an eye on the areas. Nothing is infected. And where the temperature is, it's nowhere near the bed sores. The temperature is in my feet up to my knees. The bed sores are further up my thigh. They're on like the back part of my thighs, because it's two on one side and one on the other. And what happens when I sit down or when I lay down, I've been told it's best to leave it uncovered, but where they're located, my thighs will either stick to each other or they'll stick to whatever material I'm sitting on. And when I get up to go make coffee, get up to go to the bathroom, get up to take get up to do anything, the scab peels off. So that's where we are. And I'm frustrated, which is why the dress is coming apart, y'all. It's really, really, really coming apart. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to remind you about the donations for G.R.O.W. 500 washcloths, 300 scrunchies, 200 hats, 100 scarves, 100 ear warmers, and 50 baby blankets. Yes, I am sitting on my bed. Found that is the safest place for me to be right now. I'm thirsty, but I'm trying to keep my fluid intake kind of low because I'm tired of leaving skin everywhere, man. But at any rate, oh, wow. Thursday, I I got notes, y'all. I got notes. It's just trying to find the notes. This is it, Thursday. Whew. Well, you can tell that I use my notebook. Wow. So, oh, yeah. I just happened to reach over in my basket. I keep at least one basket of yarn on my bed. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep. But I found this in the basket. What colorway is this? It's ombre, of course. Serene. That is beautiful. It's all kinds of yellows and oranges and pinks and peach, and yes, this is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. It says it's a 4. Doesn't really look like a 4. Looks more like a 3. But that's cool. And it is 100% acrylic. It doesn't feel like acrylic either. It's soft. It's soft. I think somebody spoke out and the yarn gods heard us. Because I've here lately I'm listening and realizing that the fibers are getting softer. They are, and it's amazing that it feels this good. You know, for me to have been crocheting as many years as I've been crocheting, and basically using worsted yarn, because a lot of the other yarn felt so rough to me, to be coming into an era where it's getting softer is really refreshing. So this is it, Thursday. Still in customer service. The only perspective left to look at this from is the manager's perspective. This one, the spectator is only a witness. Usually if it's a situation bad enough that the manager has to be called, the spectator is the one that can give them an unbiased rundown of the events that happened, at least from the point at which they became a part of it. If it's a negative, even if it's a positive situation. Touch on that real quick. When I was in management positions, you know, you have ways that you can write employees up. Just so you know, if you're still in the workforce, not all write-ups have to be bad. I used to praise my employees with write-ups. I'd call them in, especially if it was a day we were like bogged down and they helped the day to go really, really smoothly, or they helped a customer out in a situation that somebody else would have let go. I always recognized their good service. And it made it easier for them to come in to work the next day, even if it was a hectic day. And I got a lot. I think I first did it when I was at 7-Eleven, and I was under the management of, I call my work mama, her name is Sharon. And I told Sharon, I said, well, I wrote so-and-so up yesterday, but it wasn't bad. And she says, okay, well, what did she do? Kind of like, oh my God. And I told her, and she was like, and you wrote her up? I said, these files, follow them. If someone calls and they ask for a reference from this person, and you pull these files and you see 10 of these, you can give that person on the other end of the phone a positive review of this person. But if it's not documented anywhere, too many times that's looked over. And if all they can remember is that one time they almost got in an accident coming into the parking lot, and you opened the door and they didn't hold the door open for the person behind them, all you can remember is that day that they were rude. You don't remember the fact that the lady opened the door and spilled all of her drinks. So this cashier ran back and refilled all of her drinks, brought them out to her, told her, don't worry about it, we got it, immediately came and washed the sidewalk down, came back to work. You didn't see the fact that someone said, there are no more Pepsis in the window, and she went back and in 5 minutes filled the whole Pepsi window. You don't see these things you don't remember. A lot of people don't remember those things if it's not documented, or if they called on a day that the person who did see it was not there. There's no one there to support that. So if it's in the file, then so back to the manager. Like I said, the spectator is basically the witness. Y'all, I'm loving this hat. And all they can basically do is give them an account of the events from the point at which they saw it, whether it was good or bad. The manager, therefore, has to assess the situation, make a decision, and stick to the decision. And even after that point, there has to be a follow-through. What I mean by that is, once they come up and they realize what's going on, which is assessing the situation, they have to decide at that point what they're going to do. Does this call for customer extraction? Does it call for corrective action with the customer representative, or even termination? Is there cause for the police to be involved? You have to follow through on that. Once you make that decision, you have to follow through with that. And then you have to stick to it. Don't call the police and then cower out. That's why you have to fully assess the situation. When you call the police or you go to the next level, you need to go fully prepared. If you're getting ready to take this employee in the back and give them a tongue lashing, then you need to know everything you can possibly know. Listen, don't be overwhelmed by the situation. You as a manager are expected to be calm and collective, even if you got 1,000 people shouting at you at one time. Calmly tell everybody, hey, I'm trying to see what's going on here. If you can't get the crowd under control, yes, call for backup, whether it's somebody else in the store, security, police, whatever you have to do that. And you assess your situation. Okay, I need you to tell me what happened. I need you to tell me what happened. Okay, ma'am, what did you see? Okay, sir, what did you see? And you need to process this information and then act accordingly. If it's bad customer service, you need to take your employee away from the situation. Do not leave them out there. Take them away from the situation. 2 hours over, to the back of the store, in the office, outside on the sidewalk, whatever. Take them away from the situation. Try to get them to calm down and tell you their side of the story. you do everything you can without touching that person. A lot of people don't like to be touched, and it can make for a really bad situation if it goes that far. So you try your best not to touch them. I don't know if I like black sheets or not. But if it's in dealing with the customer, same thing. Get them away from the situation. And if it's, a customer extraction type of thing, let them know, hey, I understand your point, and we really hate to lose your business, but we really don't want you to come back here. If it's something that can be said that pleasantly. If not, tell them, get out of my store. Police are on their way. And if you need to set it up so that the next time they come, it'll be trespassing, tell them in front of the police. Once you do that, the next time they come, it's trespassing. Period, point blank. Your witnesses, same thing. You don't want to put all witnesses to the same area. You want to separate them. You don't want to give them time to collaborate their story, because they may have seen it at different times. And if they sit there and put their stories together, it may end up being something that it really wasn't. Lots of times, onlookers have made situations a lot worse than they really are. Now, once you make a decision, once you come to a determination of how it is to be handled, if that employee needs to go home for the rest of the day, if they need to be suspended for the week, if they need to be terminated, it's done. It's done. If it's the type of situation where you need to gather information, go to your CCTV, mark times that you need to mark or whatever. Make sure that you have that information ready and available for police or investigators when they come. Move on. You have a store to run. You have a store to run. You don't have time to sit here and linger on this situation that only involves you, because you have to be the determining factor as to what happens at that point. If the police have to be called, managers, like I said, go pull information that they need. Don't get in their way. The employee, the customer service representative may be your nephew, and you really don't want to see him get in trouble. I think I was blessed with the ability to separate personal life and business. I worked with my daughter for years. When I worked at 7-Eleven, I pulled my daughter into 7-Eleven, and we had a long talk before she got there. Yes. And granted, there were times that, I had to be mama, and I yes. Especially when the old trolls came up there and started saying things out of the way. But to justify me being the manager on duty, when I heard them saying out of the way things to my other young ladies, or even the young men, the cougars, that would say things to my young men that were out of place, terribly out of place, I'd jump in place like Mama Bear in a heartbeat. And I'd tell somebody, get out of my store. There will be no P activity up in here. This child is young enough to be your great-grandchild, and you up here making advances like that. No, not in my store. So, yeah. But, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's your brother's star child. Your sister's only child, whatever, it doesn't matter. It could be, your mom working for you. If wrong was done, it has to be addressed, and you have to make your decision, and you have to stick by your decision. And yeah. So I think it's safe to say that a lot of customer service has to do with each individual maintaining a certain level of professionalism and self-respect, and go into each situation looking for a positive outcome. You go into a situation looking for a bad outcome. My grandmama used to tell me all the time, don't stir up fecal matter in the pot if you don't expect it to stink. Y'all know what I mean. That's what my grandmama used to tell me. I better wait. Don't stir up doo-doo if you don't expect it to stink. Okay, that's better. But yeah, I am really big on customer service. I have worked in that field as well, just as long as I've been crocheting, 55 years. Even now, being disabled and, you know, basically operating from home or internet or telephone, I'm still in the business of servicing customers. I am a customer a lot of times. Owning my own little business, I am my own manager. I have to manage. And getting out and about and seeing the way things are going on out here, I'm a spectator lots of times. So everybody is capable of being a customer service expert, but if you want to have positive experiences in that field, regardless of what angle you're coming from, then you have to go into it expecting a positive outcome. I think that's the best way that I can say it. So I have just given you Thursdays and wrapped up on Fridays as well. Summed it all up, pulled it all in together. Still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do a live. I don't like feeling like I'm confined to my bed, but that's where I am right now. So yes, you all will be seeing this on Saturday, August 22nd. I said Saturday. Wow. Thursday, August 22nd. Saturday is my aunt's birthday. Yes. So I am looking forward to that, even though I won't be able to visit her in person. We can do a video call, y'all. This is the one I made the Alpha Auntie shawl for, the pink and green. Yeah, that's my AKA auntie, my mother's sister. And yeah, almost made a big boo-boo, but I fixed it. So I am also expecting another Temu order. It's supposed to be my ball winder. I really need that to happen. I really need it to happen. But I'm not giving up on my dress. I'm not giving up on it. I know it seems like it, but I'm not. But I'm just saying, it can happen. And you know, I was looking for more to go with it because all I had was the 4 balls to this. So with that cake and these 4 balls and the other colors that I was talking about adding, I think now finding this, if I were to add one of the other colors, it would probably just be the cream. But that purple and green look good though. It would be really nice accent colors. That would be really nice. I like thinking outside the box when it comes to colors. I like color clashes. You know, I've always been the type. I started out loving pink. Hot pink was my color. And when I was a little girl, my bedroom was painted hot pink. I like bright, vibrant colors. When I became a teenager, my mom allowed me to paint my room purple, but we couldn't find a purple bright enough or strong enough for me, so we went with a lilac. And during the time, my nickname was Lavender Cotton Candy. I was a big Prince fan, and Prince and Tina Turner. I had both of them. I used to get the Ebony I got the Ebony magazine, Jet magazine, National Geographic, Reader's Digest. There were 5 magazines I got, but there was another one. Essence magazine. And Prince was everywhere. This was when he was first coming out, and every pose that they ever had of Prince. This was like when I just kind of brushed over the Michael Jackson era. Started out being a huge Michael Jackson fan when I was a little girl. Leg is cramping up, y'all. I'm so sorry. Oh God, that hurts. But yeah, but like I said, Prince was everywhere. They had pictures posted everywhere. He was just like so dreamy and so phenomenal, and you know, heartthrobby, and yeah. And then it's like there was spots of Tina Turner. You know, they would talk about, yeah, I remember when I was a little girl, I used to dance to Proud Mary and Shake a Tail Feather, and Nutbush. Oh, Nutbush. They call it Nutbush City Limits. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, I had Prince all over my wall. He was everywhere. When I say everywhere, y'all, I mean everywhere. All over my walls. And when I went into high school, I would say probably my sophomore year of high school, I didn't shift. I was still a Prince fan. Yes, I was. But I was no longer into the pictures on the wall. And that was my first experience with tape, because I didn't tack anything into the walls. I just stuck everything up by tape. You Scotch tape at that. And all these tape images were all over my wall, and it was depressing. Pulled it down. I saw all these little tape things. You know, I would only tape like the 4 corners. You take the tape and double it over, and I tack it up top and tack it down bottom, and it was just, it was a mess. It was a mess. And I was not happy with myself for doing that. So then I didn't want anything on my walls. No hanging pictures. Nothing. I had this beautiful picture of a photograph of a Jesus photograph. And my cross, my mother and I built a bar bookcase by hand in a wood shop. And because I didn't want anything on my walls, I hung the cross on the bookcase. And that's where it stayed for the longest time. I still have my cross. I still got my cross. But I went into the album area. By this time I started collecting Prince music. You know, this is like graduating high school, and I had moved back to Carolina. I had my daughter, and then I came back to Virginia. Now I want stuff on the wall. Now I have album covers, 12-inch covers, like when the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl. I had the Super Bowl Shuffle, and I had really started getting back into my gospel music. So I had Walter Hawkins and Andre Crouch and Tremaine Hawkins. I had all of these album covers all over my wall, and it was neat because all of them I was able to find the albums that folded out. So I was hanging everything, they were all hanging around my little turntable, and I could just open them out, slide the album out, and yeah, it was neat. It was neat. So I'm not going to take up too much time. I finished frogging that. I have to get back to it. I don't like for people to see me when I get started on stuff. That's why I'm waiting to get my whole little system hooked up. One day, when I become a big girl and I have that, I'll do real tutorials. I can talk you through what I have right now, but I'm kind of embarrassed to show it because my face contorts and everything. I really get into it, especially when I'm doing the foundation chain. Yes. So that's what I have to get to work on. I'm going to go ahead on and get me a sip of water. Kind of call it a night, sort of. You know, all the girly stuff you have to do before you go to bed or settle in bed. And then I'm going to come back and crawl up into my crown, my throne. Where I have yarn reach. And I'm going to crochet until I fall asleep. I love you guys. I know that you love me because my numbers keep growing. You subscribers are the best. You really, really, really are. Again, being that it is Wednesday night still, happy birthday, Lisa, and thank you so much. Still wearing it, girlfriend. Yes, I am. But you guys take it easy. And I might come back live a little bit later. But we'll talk. Don't forget to tell that image in the mirror, I love you. And please don't forget that I, Kitty Lane, love you too. Peace out.